Hey everyone, this is Video Game Lover here, and welcome to yet another collection video. This time, it's my PSP. So this is my PSP. This is the one I got from NES Attic back in last year's Southeast Game Exchange. It's in really good shape. I believe there's a game inside of it. Yep. I'll just pull that out. But it works very well. There was, at one point, I had like maybe 6 PSPs. I had the PSP Go back in the day. I had the PSP 1000, 2 of them for a short period of time. I then got one red PSP, but it didn't work well because of the analog stick, so I took that back. I ended up getting a cheap PSP 2000 white, but that one had a messed up screen. And then I got a silver PSP 3000, and I don't know why I sold it. I really regretted selling that PSP 3000. I guess it was because I got the green one. I got another 1000, but I ended up selling that. So I'm just back with this one for now. I do plan on getting another 3000, but I absolutely love the PSP. So I just want to showcase you guys all the games that I have, and let's get started. Let's start off with Coated Arms. This is one of the very first-person shooters for the PSP, and I know that not many people like FPSs on the PSP because you will have to use the shoulder button, the face buttons, that's the second analog stick, and a lot of people never like that. I personally didn't mind it. I don't mind playing shooting games on the PSP, but I can understand why so many people didn't like it. As for Coated Arms, I did beat this game way back in 2020, and it's not a bad game, though I think Contagion is better. But man, this game gets super hard near the end. Very hard. Warriors Orochi, but inside of it is Dynasty Warriors Volume 2. And the reason for that is because my copy of Warriors Orochi, as you see here, the UMD doesn't really work all that well, so I actually have it digital. As for Dynasty Warriors Volume 2, I have a funny story with this game. So, for a while, I had trouble beating this game. So I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is probably a really long game. So I recently played this last year. I was in level 5, I believe, or level 6. And I was like, man, this stage is so long. So then when I beat the level, I ended up beating the game. I'm like, wait, what? So I ended up beating the game. It was really funny. But I really enjoyed Dynasty Warriors Volume 2. It's a pretty good attempt to bring Dynasty Warriors, on handheld. Ape Escape on the Loose. This is the greatest hits version. I'm very surprised that when I picked this up, I didn't realize how many people hated this version of the original Ape Escape. It's basically a remake of Ape Escape, and a lot of people hated it. And then I played it. I definitely can see why. It's not all that great. It's not a bad version, but it's not very good. But I can understand why a lot of people didn't like this one. Burnout Legends. This is complete, if I believe. Yep, it is complete, in really good shape. This is a very good game. It's basically Burnout 2, but it has like the elements of Burnout 3. This is a very good game. I absolutely love Burnout Legends. So great game. Aragon. I played this on an emulator for a little bit, and I thought it was going to be, at the very least, a decent game. This game is fucking terrible. I couldn't beat the second level, and I just gave up. This game sucks. That is one I do not recommend. That game sucks. Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Have this complete. I got this real cheap. I think I got this for like, $10, $8 or $10, but I thought that was a really sweet deal. This is widely considered by many to be one of the best RPGs on the PSP. It's basically the prequel to Final Fantasy VII. I haven't played it yet, obviously, because I haven't played Final Fantasy. Yeah, $10. I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, the original, but I plan to. Sonic Rivals. This is one I actually had digital, but I got it, to have it physical, so that way I save some space on the PSP. It's not a bad It's basically a racing game, kind of like Sonic R, but it's 2D. It's not a bad game, but good God, the rubber band AI in this game is so fucking cheap. So cheap. I absolutely hate the AI in this game. It's not a bad game. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. This is, I think, a fan favorite for the PSP. It's not complete, but I got this real cheap. But it's really cool to play this on the go, and this is a really good version of it. Okay. So now we have SOCOM Fireteam Bravo. For the longest time, I called it Firestorm Bravo. I have this complete and got this really cheap. So here's something funny. I never liked the SOCOM games, but I love the SOCOM games on PSP. Go figure. I guess it's because, you know, I find them to be a lot more simpler, and so I ended up finding them to be a lot more funner. So I really, really enjoyed SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 1. I'll just put this right here. But I think Fireteam Bravo 2 is the best one. This game plays very, very well. And what's crazy was, it came out a year later after the first one, and the graphics blows the first one away. This game is very good. I love this game a lot. Very good game. Here is SOCOM Tactical Strike. I was on the fence of getting this for the longest time because I'm not a fan of tactical strategy games outside of Fire Emblem or Shining Force on Game Gear, but this is actually a pretty good game. It's very hard though. Very, very hard. Very tough game. I was able to beat it, but pretty tough game, but I think it's a pretty decent game though. I really enjoyed it. Now, you want some good shooting games? I strongly recommend these two. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror and Siphon Filter Logan Shadow. I got both of them really, really cheap. They play very well on the PSP, and I got both of them complete. Both are fantastic games. I think Logan Shadow is the better of the two, but they're both really, really good games. And I highly recommend both games if you're a fan of shooting games. Here we have MotorStorm Arctic Edge, another one that I got real cheap complete. And this game is really good. It looks amazing for a PSP game. This game looks absolutely incredible for the PSP. So, really beautiful looking game. We have Hot Shots Golf Open T and Hot Shots Tennis. I got both really cheap. Both are really fun, simple kind of sports games. I believe Hot Shots Golf was a launch title. I could be wrong on that. But they're both a lot of fun, and I got them really, really cheap. Alright, yeah, our stack is looking up pretty well right now. We have Wipeout Pure, a pretty nice, another really dope racing game. And I got this really cheap. It's a really good Wipeout game. So, really good game. Kingdom of Paradise, I haven't played this yet. This is like one of the first action RPGs for... Oh god, the UMD came off. One of the first action RPGs for the system, and I haven't played it yet, but it looks pretty interesting. Why does that guy right here looks like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh? Doesn't he look like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't know what that's all about. Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. I know that there's a lot of people that don't like this entry, and I kind of see why. It's, you know, kind of a budget Ratchet & Clank game. It's still kind of cool, you know, that they try their best to bring Ratchet & Clank on the handheld. And it's not a bad game, but it's not really all that great. No, but I still got it real cheap. Ghost Rider for the PSP. It's just basically the UMD. This is a really good version of Ghost Rider. If you don't know about this game, it's basically like God of War, but it's Ghost Rider, or Devil May Cry as well. And it's a pretty fun game. I like the PSP version a little bit more because the main stages are broken to like 8 stages. And they're really short, and I just like this version a lot. Medal of Honor Heroes 1 and Medal of Honor Heroes 2. I think I am the only dude in this planet that likes these games. I swear, man, in YouTube, everyone hates these two games. They say, like, they're the worst FPSs I've ever played on the PSP. By the way, I got both of them complete. I've heard a lot of bad things about these two games. I don't think they're bad games. Like I say, you just gotta get used to the control scheme, but I don't think they're bad games at all, in my opinion. So, but I got them cheap. We have Ace Combat X, which is a very, very good Ace Combat game. One of the most underrated Ace Combat game, and I have this complete. Very awesome game. A lot of fun. And last but not least, as far as the box games, Grip Shift, which is like a little racing game that's not really all that good. I got it for like $3, so I can't really complain about that. Alrighty, on to the loose games. I already showed you Warriors Orochi, but I do got a few of them. We have Daxter for the PSP, which is a really awesome platformer game. It's this game takes place right the events before Jak 2 when Jak gets kidnapped. So you find out like what Daxter does. It's a really fun platforming game, and I think one of the best of the system when it comes to platforming games. We'll save that game later. I got two loose games right here. We have Dynasty Warriors Volume 1 and SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3. Dynasty Warriors Volume 1 is an okay game. Like I said, I think 2 is better, but it was a good attempt to bring Dynasty Warriors on the handheld. That was way better than the GBA and the DS. As for SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 3, this is probably the last good SOCOM game to come out before SOCOM pretty much died. But this is a pretty good game, and I really enjoy this game a lot. Alright, so here we have a little carrying case for the PSP, but if I open this son of a gun up, it's nothing but PSP games. A lot of loose games. Holy smokes. A lot of loose games. So let's begin. We have I thought it was Dead to Rights Reckoning. I've yet to play this game. Actually, you know what? This might be my next PSP game. It looks pretty cool. I know Dead to Rights, but I didn't really give it a shot when I had it for the Xbox. GTA Liberty Stories. Unfortunately, I think this game does not work. I tried to boot it up a couple times and it just didn't work, unfortunately. But I'll get another UMD. We have Patapon 3, or what is it? Patapon 3? I think Patapon 3. I haven't played this. I got this from a really good PSP bundle deal I got when it comes to games. Rengoku 2, I believe this is a hack and slash game, and I got this really cheap. I heard some good things about this. Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron. This is a pretty good Star Wars Battlefront game. Plays pretty decent on the PSP. And here is the sequel, Elite Squadron, which I think is even better. So, really good game. We have Twisted Metal Head-On, which is funny because the Twisted Metal show came on, and I heard it's pretty decent. But yeah, I played this on the digital, and it's pretty good. GTA Vice City Stories. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention this about Liberty Stories. It's a good game. GTA Vice City Stories is also good, but my God, this game could be very frustrating. There were times this game got me raging like crazy. God of War Chains of Olympus got this real cheap. A great God of War game that they were able to bring on the PSP. And I actually have 4 more games, which I'll pull them out here. Bear with me, folks. Here's Gangs of London. It's basically a spin-off of The Getaway. I don't know why that game kind of disappeared from my memory, but I never liked that game because you had to use like the turn signals to know like where to go. But thankfully, this game has a map. Thank you. This is a really fun game. I really enjoyed this game quite a lot. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines. Basically, it's a budget Assassin's Creed game, but it's pretty decent. I really had fun with it, even though it's really short. Tekken 6. I got this real cheap. Along with a few games, I was able to get this for like $20 from a bundle that came with Patapon in this last game. This game goes for like $30 by itself, and this is a very, very good version of Tekken 6. Wonderful version. And last but not least, I guess I'll put Warriors of Orochi here. Last but not least, Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. So yeah, haven't played this yet, but I know it's Monster Hunter, so it's really good. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That is my physical collection, and now I'm going to briefly show you guys my digital collection. All right, so here's the digital games. Toy Story 3, which is an okay game. It's actually a pretty fun little game. Here is Liberty City Stories that I kept because, you know, it doesn't work. Castlevania The Dracula X Chronicles, this is really good. It's a remake of Castlevania Rondo of Blood, and you also have the original version of Rondo of Blood and a port of Symphony of the Night, which is a lot better than the original version of Symphony of the Night. Infected, this is a really underrated shooting game. I do plan on streaming this game in the future. Here's Colored Arms Contagion, which I think is a lot better than the original game. Rainbow Six Vegas, an okay game. Undead Knights, a really cool hack and slash game for the PSP. Lords of Apocalypse, I haven't played this game. Age of Zombies, I haven't played it. Darius Burst, that's a really good game. Persona 2, this is actually the English translated version. I haven't played this yet. Same with Persona 3. But if I remember, they are remaking that game. Here's Sonic Rivals 2, which is better than the first game, but not by much. Alien vs. Predator Requiem, mediocre, okie dokie game. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, I haven't played it yet. I got to. Half Minute Hero, I haven't played this game yet. Gradius, the Gradius Collection, which is nice. NBA Street Showdown, which is good. Def Jam Takeover is awesome. Pursuit Force Extreme Justice, this is a really solid game. I wasn't a fan of the first game because of how hard it was, but this game is a lot better. Ridge Racer, really fun racing game. I also forgot to mention this. I had Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. I thought that game was not that good. Ghost in the Shell, I actually reviewed this a long time ago. A really fun first-person shooter on the PSP. We have Midway Arcade Treasures Extended Play. I mainly got this for Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Mortal Kombat Unchained, which is a very good version of Mortal Kombat Deception. God of War Ghost of Sparta, which is amazing. Metal Slug Anthology, which is really awesome. Here is Ace Combat Joint Assault, which is a great game. And I have a few PS1 games like Vagrant Story, Medal of Honor Underground, Tomba, Silent Hill, Toy Story 2, Final Fantasy 7, and Parasite Eve 2. So yeah, guys, that, ladies and gentlemen, is my long and lengthy PSP collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on my next collection. Video Game Lover 58, signing out. Peace. Oh, and don't worry, guys, I keep my games nice. The UMDs are protected very well, so don't worry.